On the preparations which are actually in top gear. Melita is now joining us live for more details. Melita, what can you tell us about the preparations so far?
Well, Zainab, the Chief of Defense Forces, General Robert Kiboshi, has arrived here at the approved grounds here in Othaya, and he was just having a briefing with the military, but they've just left. And this is to show you just how the preparations here have gathered momentum. We've just seen him hold a briefing just moments ago here at the approved grounds, just to ensure that everything is going on as planned. And together with him, we saw also members, military from the Kenya Air Force, as well as the Kenya Defense Forces, just, taking instructions from General Kiboshi here. And of course, I saw him actually, pointing out some of the roads that have been done here. And I think there could be some corrections coming from some of the work that has been done here. But he has left the premise already, and we, of course, will be keeping tabs on whether there will be a briefing in regards to that later on in the day. But from here in Othaya, we've seen quite a number of, groundwork going on to prepare for the burial of the late President Mwai Kibaki, which is scheduled to take place on Saturday. And the pictures you can see on your screen, that is the motorcade of the General Robert Kibochi leaving the Othaya approved grounds here just after inspecting the preparations that are ongoing here. And he's had a briefing with the military officers who have been on the ground since the sudden death of the late Mwai Kibaki was announced. And of course, preparations are ongoing, as I've mentioned here. And of course, they are just part of a larger team that is involved in the preparations of the burial of the late Mwai Kibaki here in Othaya. And also, just to bring you up to speed with what is happening here at the approved grounds, is that a dome tent has already been set up here. This happened yesterday. And of course, today we are actually seeing the workers here continue arranging the chairs. Thousands of mourners, of course, will be expected to be seated in this dome, and that is why the government is racing against time to ensure that all chairs are arranged. And of course, among the mourners who are expected here, of course, we expect the president, of course, his deputy president to also attend, as well as former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, among other politicians, and of course, dignitaries in government and members of the diplomatic corps, as well as, citizens who will turn up in large numbers to give the late Mwai Kibaki, a final send-off. So we are keeping tabs on what is happening. Just a few moments ago, also, we were at Othaya, at the late President Mwai Kibaki's residence in Othaya, where we saw military officers have camped there. Security has been beefed up. Not just at the Othaya home and here at the approved grounds, but we've seen military officers patrolling Othaya town. Yesterday, we saw the Kenya Air Force fighter jets hovering around Othaya town. And this is just to show that security is tight, not just on the ground, but even in the air. And the government is, putting every effort to ensure that Mwai Kibaki is given a befitting send-off. So Zainab, of course, also, as I mentioned earlier, we've continued talking to the residents over there here, and of course, they are sending their messages of tribute and condolences, remembering the life and times of Mwai Kibaki as their leader here in Othaya, and even as the president of the republic. So that is what is happening here in Othaya. The General Robert Kiboshi, the Chief of Defense Forces, is in Othaya and is currently inspecting some of the preparations that are ongoing here at the Othaya approved grounds and at Kibaki's Othaya home. Back to you in studio, Zainab.
All right, Melita Oletenges there.